Every time before we'd go visit my grandmother, we'd play GB trivia. GB is what we called my grandmother because when my mom was pregnant with my older sister, she decided she wanted a special name to separate herself from my dad's mom. So we decided on GB because it's Grandma Berta GB. Simple. So every time before we'd go, we'd play this game where we'd start asking each other questions. Like, now, what hour of the night did her brother sneak into her mom's house to get her to sign over the house to him instead of her? And we're like, oh, it differs sometimes. And we're like, but the most correct answer is 2:30 in the morning. Yes, that's correct. One of our favorite ones that we'd ask would be like, what did GB say about Zach? That's myself. What did she say about Zach when he was going around in this wagon? Because when I was very little, about 4 or 5, my dad would pull me around in this, Red Rider wagon or whatever they called it. And I would just sit in this little wagon, big, chubby kind of kid, and I would just wave kind of back and forth. And so then my grandmother would always say, like, oh, he looks just like the Pope. He's the Pope, the first Jewish Pope. When I was about 14 or 15, her memory started to go. And so as a middle schooler, I got to know what old folks' homes were like. The old ladies would kind of come up to me and say, like, you look just like a boyfriend I had back in the 60s. I love your hair. Can I touch it? And they'd start, like, stroking my head. But the old guys would take a different reaction, and they'd run up to me and show their bald scalps and say, like, look at this. You see this? This is your future. And I remember seeing this one time where I had to wait while they were talking to the doctors. It was like their dance period for the day. Is a huge guy who picks up the women and dances with them. But they can't, they don't have the ability to dance anymore, so he just has to twirl them slowly about so their hips don't come out or something like that. And that's kind of when I started to realize that this is a pretty weird place for a middle school kid to hang out in. And, that's when I realized that these people are going away. And time is, going by. One of the last times we hadn't visited for a while. And we hadn't visited her in a while because she wasn't as well as before. So we go up and we visit her and we sit down with her and go, hi, GB, it's Alex, it's Zach, we're here. And she's sitting there muttering. She's not making any sense at all. Just before we left, we were trying to say, like, okay, well, Alex and Zach are going to go now. Can you say bye to them, Mom? And she kind of muttered something, and we didn't really hear what she said. And we said, what did you say, GB? And she said, well, I see you brought the Pope here. So, hello, Mr. Pope. And then, another question was like, what did she say to the state trooper when she was pulled over for speeding? I'm going home, officer!